Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to do the rear brakes on a Dodge Dakota. They're all very similar, but there's some of them, there's a few little minor differences. I watched a video from a guy. He did his brakes. He's from California. I wish I could remember his name. I would have said it just now, but anyways, it was a good little video. But things are much different up here in Canada or anywhere where they use salt and whatnot. It's a little bit more of a drastic operation sometimes due to all the rust. But anyways, some of the things you're going to need: some sort of a hammer, a couple of screwdrivers, maybe a small one and a bigger one there. I'm using a pry bar to take off the lug nuts because I'm getting old and I can't turn things with the short ones anymore. When you go to put it back on, I'm going to use a torque wrench. I'll give you the numbers on that when I get to that point. Pair of needle nose pliers. Oh, by the way, the lug nuts on this one, they're 19 mil. When we get to the brake parts, it's only 2 bolts that come out, and those are both 10 mil. And you're going to need some sort of a clamp, like a C-clamp, or I'm going to use this one. It's not ideal, but I'll show you what you need that for to compress the piston on the brake. So let's get at her. I'm going to take the wheel off here. Oh, and of course, when you jack up your vehicle, use a good jack. Check for the proper jacking locations. I'm not going to get into telling you exactly where to jack your vehicle up because, if something happens, you'll probably come after me with a lawsuit or something. And then once it's jacked up, always put some sort of another support under the vehicle, like a jack stand, once it's jacked up a bit. So, be careful, don't be stupid. Jack it up in a proper location and support it after the jack is there. Leave the jack in there too, don't support it and then take your jack out. Keep them both in there. Alright, let's take this wheel off. Oh, and loosen all your lug nuts before you jack it up. And when I say loosen the lug nuts, I mean just loosen them slightly. Just break them free. Don't unscrew them all the way out. Just break them so that, they're easier to turn. So just a little bit. Just like a quarter turn, whatever it takes just to initially loosen them. And then you jack it up, okay? Okay, if you're replacing both the rotors and the pads, you can use this method, especially if you're in the rusty areas of the world. And what we're going to do is hit all the points that cause trouble, which is around here. A little squirt in each lug nut spot. I'll get the camera in here better after, but there's 2 bolts, which you'll see in a second. Anyways, you want to spray those. Normally you wouldn't want to do this if you were just replacing the brake pads because, I mean, you don't want oil on there. But anywhere where you see that there's contact with parts, you need to spray them, otherwise it'll never come off or come apart. Okay, here we go. This is the brake pad and caliper assembly here. You're not actually removing basically the mounting bracket. You're just removing the one that holds the brake pads. So let's get that done. These are the 10 millimeter bolts, and you know which ones they are because they have like a rubber thing on them. There's just 2 of them, right here and right here. So let's get those going. And the weird thing with this Dodge, as compared to that other fellow's video, my shackles or my leaf springs are like right in the way here. So you have to use a small, this is like a 1/4 inch drive. We'll get that on there. It works out, it's alright. And you know, they're rusty, so gotta work them. Oops. Yeah, there we go. That's good. And so just pull that back like that. Well, that's good. Someone must have done this one maybe not too long ago. It still has a lot of grease in it. And be very careful with the brake lines. You don't want to put stress on the actual brake line that goes in here because yeah, you're going to cause yourself trouble. You don't want it to start leaking, or you don't want to damage it. So I'll try to be careful here. Darn it. There we go. Once you get them loosened up, they will come out. And they should come out by hand. Okay, that one I'm going to take right out. Set it there. Alright, so there's a clip here that holds this in place. Using my needle nose pliers, I'm going to compress that clip. I'm going to stick my small screwdriver in here. This clip kind of pops up and holds the assembly in. You'll see when I start knocking it out of here. I'm just going to adjust this so you can see like how ridiculous this is. And you can just set this up here. Just rotate it up there. Some people will put a wire on it so it doesn't fall off there, but I'm Pretty confident I'll be all right. Basically, the brake pads on here weren't bad. The rotors look bad, but I think this thing, they just seized up. That's what I think has happened here. There, that spring thing went back into place there. Yeah, it's ridiculous when you're working on these vehicles that are subjected to all the salt. Not so simple like the California guys. Okay, let's address this one issue right away here. Parking brakes on the Dodge Dakota. It's almost like a little mini shoe brake. If your parking brake doesn't work because of all the rust, it probably means that it's seized up in here. Gently take a hammer and start sliding it back and forth. If you can see it moving, that's a very good sign. And as in probably many other videos, you'd never want to actually put any oil or lube in your brake system, but you have to be very careful. Do not get any on the pad here. And you just want to sort of lube up where the moving part areas are. There's a few springs in there, whatnot. I know you can't see this, but get the back side where it rubs again. That was a crazy motorcycle person. But anyways, you want to spray some lube in the back here. Just don't get it on the pad. I'm using some pretty thick stuff, so it's not going to drip and run all over. Come back and give it a few more whacks. And then also in the back where the parking brake line comes in, you'll see a little spring there. You can't see it on video, but I'm going to spray where the cable comes out of there, and this will absorb in there too and hopefully loosen things up. There we go. So that's just kind of a side note, and let's get at her. Okay, in the next step here, there are these, they're kind of like slider rails for the actual brake pads. They fit onto here. If you buy brake pads, usually they'll give you new rails. And mine are so rusty and stuff. If they were in good shape, I'd just leave them on. But mine are so corroded and stuff, I have to knock them off here. But there you go, that's what they are. And you'll probably have to clean some of the rust off of there. Okay, the next item here is the actual caliper. And again, be careful. We'll move this around. This is the other half of the pad. And let me adjust this a bit. What we need to do is push in this cylinder here. That's the caliper, I think that's what they call it. And so that's where I'm going to use that this thing here, you just have to compress it in and make it flat or flush. What I found what works really good is like a thing called a C-clamp, and I don't have one. I did maybe, but I can't find it, so I have to use this apparatus. So all we're doing here is you're pushing in this little cylinder here, because if you don't push that in, you probably won't be able to get the brake pads to fit in. Shouldn't take much work, just go slow. And you'll know it's all the way in, it's flush, and you know, physically you won't be able to turn it, tighten it anymore to push it in. And we're at that point now. Oh, and while I'm at it, I'm just gonna spray some more lube on this thing. I'm using stuff that doesn't drip or run all over the place, so it'll be okay around the brakes. It's not gonna drip or whatnot, so, because you don't want to get oil on your brakes. Alright, I'll go get the parts and we'll get this thing going together. Alright, here's the new rotor. And when they ship them, they're covered with basically some sort of protective layer so they don't rust. So you need to get some brake cleaner. Any brand will do. And I already cleaned this one off, but basically do both sides. On the other side, do the inner side, where the parking brake shoes fit in. You have to clean that all out, get that coating off, and it doesn't take much. Just spray them down like this. All that stuff will just run right off. So there you have it. Do that side, do the other side, and then we're pretty much set to put on this rotor. Okay, these are the actual brake pads, and hopefully when you bought them they gave you there's some lube stuff here. And anywhere where there's going to be contact, metal to metal contact, be careful not to get anything, of course, on here, but in these little notches, like that notch, on these little things here, I don't even know what you call those, on this metal here, on this spring, and of course the little grooves in here. You want to apply just a small amount of some grease. I usually use lithium grease, but I mean they provided this, so I'll go ahead and use it. So just put a little bit there. These are the ends here on each end that go on that slide rail. We'll put a little bit of grease on the slide rail also. Oh, on this one with the 3 prongs, that's where the caliper, this goes onto the caliper piece, that round one that I compressed. So you want to put a little bit of, just a thin coating. Don't get excessive. You want to put a little thin coating on there. That way it'll be able to move around on it. And okay, I have the rotor. We'll get this on first. Okay, so here's the first brake pad. The one that has the 3 prongs on it here, that goes into the cylinder. So let's go ahead, get that put in place. There we go. And this is the outer. Now it's going to fit in. I'll try to hold this here so you can see. This one needs to go in like this. These little prong things on the edge, they go on the outer side of here. There we go. And then now, bring this around, and you see these little, hopefully you can see this, these are the rubber things where the bolts go in. You need to take these, and they should slide back. You gotta compress those back, otherwise they won't fit into the bolt slots. So this one, push it back, and the other one too. And we'll get this lined up. Start with the bottom. Okay, and then if they'll be a little bit tight getting on. Just have to work at it. There we go. You should be able to initially turn these in by hand. If you can't, then it's probably cross-threaded. Do not proceed at that point. Got to do some more realignment. Alright, well that one's going in, that's good. Okay, and as far as tightening them, I mean, you're dealing with a small 1/4 inch drive. Just tighten them as best you can. Get them tight, and then give them a little jab. Not too much danger in over tightening things when you're using a little drive like this, unless you're like He-Man. Okay, there we go. Basically, it's set up to go. I'm gonna go clean my hands up here, and we'll get the tire put on. And I'll tell you a little bit about how to put a tire on properly if you don't know. If you do, then you don't have to worry about this part, but let's stick around. Could be some good info. Alright, we're at the final stages here, and again, you don't have to do this if you live in California, but if you live up in the rusty old country of Canada with all the salt, you need to put a little, and be careful, don't get anything on there, but put a little spray, Get it on here, around the edge, where each lug is, and a little bit on the threads. Because I have had it so that when the tire is on there, it actually gets rusty, and the tire even sticks on the rotor. So it's a good little preventative measure. So let's get this tire on. There's a little thing to pay attention to though. If you lube your threads on your lug nuts, that's the torque specifications. They go down actually, because things are slick and things go on a little bit easier, and they eventually end up tightening up a little bit more. So we'll get into that once I get the wheel on here. Okay, while I'm putting these on, I did a little bit of reading just to be sure. But most tires on some vehicle, on most, well, not on some, but on most, the foot-pounds that you tighten these to, it's about anywhere from 90 to 125. The Dodge varies depending on which model it is. It's anywhere from 90 to 125, thereabouts. And since I've lubricated all the threads on here, they say that you should reduce your torque foot-pounds anywhere from 10-15%. That's something you might want to check on a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on at 90 foot-pounds. And people say, well, why do you even care? Like, just tighten them down. Well, it's very important because, of course, if they're too loose, you might think you're strong and maybe you put them on tight enough, but maybe you weren't. Or you might be really strong and you over tighten them. If they're not on tight enough, the tire's going to fall off. If they're on too tight, you can actually shear the bolts off, and you'll be driving without a tire in short order. So I am going to use a torque wrench. I have it set to 90 foot-pounds. There's a sequence to do this properly also. Of course, right now, the vehicle is still up on the jack, and at this point, you don't actually tighten these down really hard. It's just a matter of snugging up your bolts here. Get the tire seated. I'm not worrying too much about sequence right now. I'm just sort of snugging things up. But the sequence is very important in the end. So these are all relatively equal. So I'm going to go ahead. It's still off the floor, so this is not a super tightening thing. It's just a little sort of snug up. It's almost like the reverse of when you took them off. The pattern isn't too important, but still, you know, be conscientious. Sort of give them all an equal go. The reason you don't tighten them up while the vehicle is still jacked up, it's maybe for a truck it wouldn't hurt it as much, but it is hard on the drivetrain a little bit. But here we go. I'm all set at this point. you have another your jack stand under there. Make sure you take that out. And let's lower it to the floor. Lower it down gently. And let's go through the final process here. Like I said, I'm going to use a torque wrench. And I have it set to 90 foot-pounds. And this is where the sequence starts coming in. It's very important. That one's already good. Go opposite. That one's good. Go opposite. That one's good. Opposite. Good. And let's just do a go around. There you have it. I'm going to take her for a test drive, get the brakes worn in a bit, and I'll report back. Okay, I just went for a test drive. Everything's feeling good. And I just want to do a little bit of a recap here. These are the old rotors here. They should be shiny. I mean, normal brakes, when they're used, they're shiny. These ones are not. They're looking pretty rough. The brake pads themselves, they have a lot of material left on them, but you know, something was going on there. They seem to be working now, by the way. But then, if you look at this one, this would be the inner, and remember the new ones had the big 1, 2, 3 or 4 big prongs on them that held them in place. Those have been totally rusted off, so they're gone. This probably wasn't being held in the right position, so who knows. And plus, if you remember, these sliders, heavily corroded. I mean, they have to slide on there, but they were heavily corroded, so I bet there are a lot of issues were going on. That's all I can say. And on a final note, if your front brakes are bad, these are the rear, but if your front brakes are bad, you know, it's either going to be squeaking or whatever, or you're going to feel vibration, and you'll feel that vibration in the steering wheel if it's the front brakes. For rear brakes, you won't feel the vibration in the steering wheel. You'll feel it in the pedal more. But you have to test that, you have to do a little bit of heavy braking to figure it out. So, as I said, problem solved at this point. Test drive was good. Pretty happy. Saved a whole ton of money. And it's so easy to do. I know this video might be however minutes long, but I could have done these brakes in the time that I did the video, because I mean, you have to do a lot of extra work doing a video and just setting things up. But yeah, there you go. Enjoy and take it on yourself. You can do it. All's good. Like and subscribe. So, were the brakes better?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.